It just drugged me.
When you camp far from everything, the worst part isn't the darkness. It's the moment the darkness makes a sound back, from eyes watching in the forest to an RV shaking beside frozen water. If the forest can hear you, watch you, and answer back, would you still stay the night? On October 5th, 2025, Dee of Dee's Dark Adventures went out to record another night. Her channel follows encounters in abandoned places where isolation and darkness blur the line between curiosity and danger. That evening, Dee and Bear moved deep into the forest. The air felt still and cold with quiet that seemed wrong. Soon after, the footage jolted violently. Something had gone wrong before the night began.
But those woods look closer than they are. What?
Did you hear that?
Listen, listen.
Holy smokes, look.
Dude, turn.
I just heard some come from the barn too, but that was 2 huge flags.
I wonder if it was answering the one back there.
Did you hear that?
That wasn't a gun, was it? Pap, pap. Well, that one knocked.
It was like some little...
Dude, careful, you're gonna break your damn leg. I'm wondering if it answered the knock from that one over there.
Yeah, I just heard something like walking right behind me.
Dude, this place is crazy, I'm telling you. Screams, everything.
Earlier, Dee and Bear placed their gear beside the broken livestock pen, an abandoned spot of mossy beams, rusty nails, and heavy silence. They had only started filming when several knocks carried from the trees. It did not sound like wind, because the woods were calm.
I told you, when something landed on that barn and like took off or something, like a huge rock or something big, it had to be 80 plus pounds that landed on that.
80 pounds?
On the barn, and it didn't break, it didn't bend, it didn't nothing. Like, it was just so heavy, it had to be something huge. And I'm just 80 pounds at least. If it was any bigger, it would have crushed it. All right.
Is that an eyeball?
Yeah.
Is that a huge eyeball?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, my bad. I don't see it. We need to find a spot and sit and be quiet and watch.
Put down some cat balls.
So far, we're the ones walking and they're doing stuff. I think that we walked into them knocking, but they would usually stop.
I wasn't happy with my knock. That old post.
What was that?
How would you call a dog?
How?
Everybody says you don't want to. Like, yeah.
No, you don't.
How would you tell me a dog? Whoa.
Stop.
Hey, a minute ago there was something big over there.
Hold on, dude. Did you hear that?
That's a whole different thing.
Alright.
Yeah, last thing, I'll be listening over here. Listen.
I'm trying. Hang on. That wasn't real. That wasn't a real goose.
That sounded crazy.
That sounded weird.
Is there water around here?
There's a river, but it's way that way. Like a 30, 40, maybe an hour walk. Now the owl's over there.
That is so crazy, man. It's like the owl's going with it too. The first thing was back right behind you.
I know. That's what they do, man.
That was 2 totally different signs.
A short time later, another noise followed, similar to ducks or geese calling nearby, though there was no water in the area. 2 sudden knocks hit the pen walls, and Dee's camera picked up a dim yellow shine deep in the woods, like eyes reflecting from darkness. When they continued deeper, the path disappeared under limbs and mist. A sharp crack made them freeze. Dee's flashlight started to flicker, and then something slammed down above them. Whatever hit the roof sounded heavy, 80 pounds at least, yet left no damage.
My light is not dead. Oh my God! My lights are getting killed. Yeah, it's the second one. I've only got one left. Dang. All right. Stupid light, get off. I'm stuck on these stupid bushes. I'm gonna come out a little bit more. Well, I can't see. The closer I get to these, I can't see over, and I keep hearing things. So I'm trying to be as far back as I can. Wow! All right, my whistle's scared. Listen. Ah!
Hey! Ow, son of a... What the heck just happened? What happened? Hey! What just happened? Huh? Holy smokes, man, you're freaking way back here. Come on. Hey, we gotta get, how do we even get out of here? That drug you back? That was through a whole freaking field.
Oh, my back is fucked.
There's a path. It just yanked you right through all that.
Where's my camera?
I don't know.
Oh my god, here. It's still going. Oh my god. It just drugged me.
I gotta get my camera.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, we gotta go.
I have no idea. Get your bag.
I'm trying. Go get your stuff. I got mine. Go.
I got your one bag. Come on.
It was thorns.
Let me see.
I don't want to let right now.
Come on.
We'll get to the truck. Go. Oh my god, my back is bleeding. I can feel it. It wouldn't let go until I said Jesus. As soon as I said Jesus, it let go. Hold on, I want to go. Are you okay?
Sorry.
Oh my god, dude, my bag. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, let's go this way. I don't know.
Everything went quiet until a growl moved through the trees. Then came a rotten odor. Dee said it felt as though something was watching them with one side of the trail colder than the other. In a clearing, they found flattened leaves, almost like something large had rested there. After that came running steps, snapping branches, and a howl that seemed to circle them from every direction. Dee's camera caught the eyes again, now much closer. Her light flickered once more, and a red glow appeared above Bear about 6 feet in the air. Then something moved in fast and violent. Dee was yanked backward, and the camera struck the ground. The recording became chaotic, muffled voices, rustling movement and struggle. Dee sounded hurt. Then, through uneven breaths, she said one word. The activity instantly stopped. A moment later, her voice returned, trembling and breathless as they escaped the forest and left everything behind. The video faded into silence. Viewers pointed out a dark shape lowering behind a tree along with faint footsteps before the attack. Some said Dee's use of Jesus' name gave them chills and made the encounter feel unlike a normal animal. Others warned that searching for monsters can end badly when something answers. No one had a clear reason for why everything stopped the moment that word was spoken. Dee later said she had minor injuries, but never posted the complete unedited recording. Since that night, she has not confirmed whether she will return to that forest again. One viewer summed it up by saying that when someone stares into darkness, the darkness may stare back. On September 27, 2025, High Gear posted a new video. The channel is known for raw off-road rides, crashes, and moments captured through helmet cameras. That day, the rider headed into the Italian countryside for what seemed like an ordinary dirt road outing. The sky was overcast, the wind moving, and the track ahead slick from earlier rain. What began as another test of skill soon shifted into a fight against weather, terrain, and stamina. The footage began on rough ground with uneven hills, muddy tracks, and hidden rocks under tall grass. Only minutes and the bike's tires started sliding, unable to hold the soaked surface. As the clouds grew darker, the rain picked up. Visibility dropped and water covered the camera lens. The rider blamed the tires, frustrated that they could not grip the wet grass. Even so, he kept going quietly, laughing to himself while forcing the bike ahead.
Hey, Vladimir found great ride. Yeah. Oh, be careful because these tires are not so good on the grass, you know. Good shit, good shit. We came to the more fucked up road than this one. I like it.
Okay, this is a road, man. We need to get somewhere on this shit, but we got to keep it slow because look at these rocks, and the suspension of this bike is so trash. It's unbelievable. Big ass motherfucker. Nice. Yeah, we get in it. I hope we don't end up in the river stream, man. Oh my god, look at it where we are.
Using the GPS, he searched for a safer way through the woods. The trail bent into tight sections bordered by stone and mud. The climb uphill was punishing, with the motor roaring and the wheels spinning without control.
I gotta say,
Vladimir didn't know that this bike has a ventilator too.
so it was raining here. If you didn't realize that till now, the ground is a little bit wet, but it's still rideable. Very nice.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It must be somewhere here. Here is the linea. So my friends, with the help of the GoPro, I found these bitches and they're still gonna work, but I don't know how I'm gonna put them on the bike. I have some tools in the seat, don't have a clue which ones. First of all, I got to turn around the bike and put it on the main stand. In middle of Nebraska, nigga lost his fucking motocross bike parts, man. Holy fuck, man. So as I said, the bike shuts down if the stand is put down and you put in first gear. That's some safety bullshit, you know. So I need something bigger than this shit, man. Okay, this is fucked already. Fucking hell. Guys, you know. Oh, I did that like nothing. This fender is fucked. I mean spring. It's twisted. Probably because of the natural design, which is shit. Okay, whatever. We can continue. Holy motherfucker, man. Yes, good that I have the main stander too, man. I would have complications without it. I fixed that bitch, but what happened now is shit started raining, bro. Fucking god, man, it's fucking with me. That's some real enduro bullshit. Oh bro, I feel the rain much more than earlier. Fuck off. Oh man, look at the rain. It started just now, man.
When he finally made it over the top, his reaction carried through the wind, a mix of relief and exhaustion. The narrow forest road made him ease off the throttle. The suspension groaned across loose rocks. He noted the smell of mushrooms in the damp air and explained that the uneven path made it difficult to keep a steady line. Around the 11-minute point part of the bike came loose. The headlight had dropped off. He stopped, raised the seat, and searched for tools. After trying more than once to fix it unsuccessfully, he chose to continue. Following the muddy route, he reached a clearing. There, standing by itself on the hillside, was an abandoned house. He laughed softly and joked about living there. Inside, the walls were empty and bare. A rusted bed frame was the only thing left. For several seconds, he stood quietly and looked around. Then he went back outside, got on the bike, and rode back into the storm. After the upload appeared, comments arrived quickly. Some viewers praised the terrain and trails. Others felt something else, the heavy quiet hanging over the video. The ride no longer seemed only about difficult ground. It carried the feeling of being far away from everything. The rider never revealed the house's location or whether he returned. One viewer described the scene as no monsters, no ghosts, only a man and his machine facing the world alone. In early January, during a Canadian winter, YouTuber Mo Sargi went with his friend Chris to camp off-grid beside a frozen lake. The footage was made for the Mo Sargi YouTube channel, which centers on outdoor camping RV trips and searches for unexplained moments in isolated places. Ringed by snow woods and ice, their RV stood alone with no roads, homes, or trace of anyone nearby. As daylight disappeared, the quiet around the lake seemed heavier than expected.
Look at this. Nothing but lakes and like little islands surrounding us. Man, it's so quiet out here. Right now, we're just out here in the Canadian wilderness and where people have actually sighted Bigfoot himself. So I'm hoping we get lucky today. I really want to be able to see Bigfoot. Yo, I could swear, like, bro, no clickbait. I could swear I saw something moving on that hill over there. Way out there. I'm zoomed in right now with my zoom cam. But I swear to God, like, I thought I saw something like way out there. What the? Huh? That was a weird noise.
I heard something in the bush there.
Dude, I actually saw something over there on that piece of land, which we can't get to because there's a lake between us. Yeah, guys, we're hearing some weird noises coming from that side over there now too. So I just flew the drone and I didn't see a single animal, not a moose, not a bear, not a crocodile, nothing. All right, the real adventure begins. We're gonna leave the RV behind and we're gonna go off into the forest and hopefully see if there are any signs of Bigfoot. There are prints here. I did walk through here earlier, but not all of these are mine. I don't know whose these are. Oh, they go towards the trail. I wonder if somebody else was like Bigfoot hunting out here. But these stop. Oh, look, whoever showed up here, stopped here and then turned around and went back down that way. Yeah, I'm on the ice right now. We're making our way to the other side of the lake right now. We didn't have to walk across water, so I think this might actually be like a little island. There are some strange rocks over there, actually. But also, caves could mean Bigfoot. What if Bigfoot lives in a cave? Oh, shh, shh, shh. That was a growl coming from our side.
Yeah, it sounded like over here.
Chris off camera was saying that he's seen something that looked like a shack over there, which I can't see it, but we're gonna probably go and explore. But then we hear some loud echoing growl. It is echo. If Bigfoot growls, we're gonna hear it.
Yes. Did you move? No. I heard something over there.
Yeah, that's where it came from. That's why I'm aiming my camera that way. I'm officially scared because I don't know what the hell that was. For the record, we just found a big crack in the ice. I don't know how concerning this is, but yeah, we got to be careful. I thought I heard a crack. Like, I'm not even joking. I thought I heard a crack. Why does this part here look darker than the other parts? Is it shallower or is it weaker ice? What the fuck was that? You heard that, right? Could that have been the ice? But it sounded like it came from here and then over there at the same time. Those are footprints, dude. Oh, look!
Is that a bear print?
No, that's a Bigfoot print. Oh, dude, these are actual Bigfoot prints. There's more here. Let's see if we can like kind of clean this one out. I can't make out this one, that one, this one.
This one almost has like tough.
Yeah.
See? Almost like a hand.
But it looks like
Thumb, finger, 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 finger.
I don't know. Could be maybe part of a foot, right? Like that's a big.
The outing started peacefully. The frozen lake spread out on all sides, interrupted by distant islands and wind-blown snow. When Mo and Chris walked across the surface, loud cracks traveled under their feet, followed by deep, strange noises moving along the shoreline. As they explored farther from the RV, they found large marks locked into the ice. The shapes were uneven and partly covered, hard to explain, but larger than their own boot prints.
Feels good to be off the ice. Oh yeah, we got the log in here. It's burning still. What is that? Is that blood?
Oh, salt.
Oh, that's salt. Yeah, I broke my salt shaker. That's right. I thought that was... Oh!
I've never heard that before.
Did we just hear that correct? Like, that was a
God awful scream up.
I'm going back down to the lake, dude. Come back down to the lake. Oh my God, there actually might be something here. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off my light just so I can see a little bit better. This camera sees better with the light off. Oh, what the f is that? Oh my god, what was that? There's something here, dude. There's something actually here.
Once night came in, the mood shifted. A low howl rose from the woods, followed by sharp knocking noises striking the trees one after another. The sounds carried over the lake, then cut off suddenly, leaving only stillness.
I can't believe that was like not you.
No.
Okay, so sitting on my bed, I feel the RV shaking a lot. And I'm like, oh, it's probably just Chris moving. But he's saying it wasn't him. And it's not windy out. And the fire's out, dude. What the? I don't see anything that would, like, there's no wind. What the hell could have caused that? Yeah, like, we're the only ones here. You sure you didn't move?
100%. I swear to God.
And there's nothing out here. Dude, what if Bigfoot was shaking our car? Guys, there's no way.
Later that night inside the RV, the vehicle shook without warning. Both of them felt it at once. There was no wind, no traffic passing by, and no obvious movement outside. Whatever caused it offered no simple answer. Some viewers later leaned toward natural causes, suggesting the ice may have shifted under pressure or that animals were moving through the area. Frozen lakes can create loud, eerie sounds, particularly after dark. Others thought the noises felt deliberate. They focused on the timing of the knocks, the direction of the howls, and the instant the RV moved as if something knew they were there. It may have been the ice, it may have been animals crossing the forest, or it may have been something that did not need to appear, only to be heard. What do you think was outside that night? Late in autumn, Sam from the YouTube channel Camping with Sam Bananas reaches Woodlawn Cemetery in Toledo, Ohio. His channel centers on camping trips and calm outdoor exploring. Established in 1876, Woodlawn is among Toledo's oldest cemeteries, containing over 65,000 graves. People claim it is haunted. Even so, Sam intends to stay overnight there.
As for the paranormal activity reported in this cemetery, there are countless sightings of a woman in white. Most accounts say that she wanders near the gates. Other accounts have said that she wanders throughout the gravestones. Still other accounts say that she spends time here at the Gunkel Memorial.
Currently under renovation, this memorial is a testament to the Gunkel family. John Gunkel was a mentor to many civic leaders in the Toledo area. He also helped establish the charitable organization known as the Old Newsboys Goodfellow Association.
Legend has it that she lost her daughter in a gruesome fashion and wanders the cemetery looking for her. Now, as far as I can tell, there really isn't a good way to camp near the gates. That's where most of the sightings of this ghostly woman have been reported. So I'm going to plant myself right over there next to the Gunkel Museum, directly in the spot where there have been some reports that she wanders the cemetery. Now, I am aware that some people may have a bit of a disagreement with camping out in the cemetery. And I understand why you would feel that way. I have a little bit of a different perspective. I would say that if you're someone who believes that there's an afterlife and that there is some sort of a presence here from those that have passed on, don't you think they'd like some company? I think if I was buried in one of these sites and someone came to spend the night and spend time with me, I'd probably be kind of happy about it.
Sam starts by walking through Woodlawn Cemetery, explaining that it serves not only as a place of burial, but also as a public green space for walkers, cyclists, and scenic drives. Under its quiet appearance sits more than 100 years of history. He visits the Spitzer family mausoleum, discussing how the family became influential bankers who helped shape Toledo's financial scene.
I'm aware that members of the Titke family are buried in this cemetery. However, so far, this is the only grave where I can find them at. Titke's was, by all accounts, quite an epic grocery store and kind of just a spectacle of a department store. Now, the very, very early days of the Titke store actually started in 1894. But in terms of the modern shop and what it would become, that happened around 1910. That is when they moved on to Summit Street downtown. Their business was on the corner of Summit Street and the northeast corner of Adams, where it would stay for the next 6 decades. While their core business was food, they leased the upper floors of the building to sell furniture, housewares, clothing, and shoes. The brothers Titke also added a bakery, a deli, and restaurants. The concept was ahead of its time, a forerunner of what would be deemed one-stop shopping. Titke's closed for good in 1972. According to the information that I can find, this is the burial site of John, who is one of the heirs of the original family.
Not far away, Sam crosses a closed-off bridge over Silver Lake, moving carefully past barriers designed to keep cars out. As he goes farther into the grounds, Sam discovers John Tietke's grave connected to the Tietke family business, which once ran a large, forward-thinking department-style grocery store in Toledo. As evening nears, Sam brings up Woodlawn's best-known story, The Lady in White. According to reports, she moves near the entrance gates and around the Gungle Memorial searching for the child she lost. Sam decides to pitch his tent close to that exact area. Once darkness falls, he speaks quietly, knowing security vehicles are moving through the cemetery. He cooks a basic meal while faraway headlights pass and deer rustle through nearby leaves, keeping the atmosphere tense.
I am super whooped. I'm ready to hit the hay here. Anything crazy happens, I'll definitely let you know. Otherwise, we're going to be back at 'em bright and early, trying to get out of here before the sun comes up. Good night, everybody.
Just a little bit later in the day than I wanted to get up, but I think we'll be okay. I'd like to have things be as fair as possible. There is an exit of the cemetery right here, right by where I was, and you can exit through this park, and I can get to the road out this way. But I think maybe it's a good idea to try to see if we can leave the same way we came in.
Later, Sam goes back outside with a headlamp to look around. The mausoleums seem heavy and intimidating in the dark, and he mentions a strong sense of being watched. Even with that fear, he finds nothing strange. As freezing cold arrives, Sam breaks camp before sunrise and slips away from the cemetery on his electric bike. Nothing paranormal happens. The isolation, darkness, unfamiliar noises, and worry about being caught may explain why the night feels so disturbing. If nothing is seen yet fear still feels real, was the experience harmless or something else? Our next clip comes from Recon 1, Outdoors, a survival channel centered on solo camping, rough weather, and outdoor equipment tests. On April 21st, 2026 at South Africa's Breed River, the camper reaches the area shortly before a serious storm moves in. The wind is already picking up, though it has not become extreme yet. His first major choice is where to position the truck. He faces the nose of the vehicle directly into the wind, shielding the campsite behind it from the strongest gusts. That decision matters because the security of the entire setup depends on that exact angle.
I've got the storm straps out and the pigs. I'm gonna put out some pigs in some random places. And as soon as I open up that awning in conditions such as this, it is not meant to withstand winds of these speeds all on its own. So I'm just gonna smash some pigs in. This one is a tricky one because of where I parked the car. Guys, there's no science to this. Estimating based on where my arms are once that awning is deployed. Due to the water resistance, that is another issue that I'm going to be dealing with. I've got the cameras to contend with too. I'm going to attach the strap.
And his choice shapes everything that follows. He begins reinforcing camp immediately. Heavy pegs, ropes, and ground anchors are fixed in place before he fully deploys the gear. He does not simply extend the roof canopy and hope for the best. He tightens and secures it first. By adding a wind-blocking wall, he creates a protected working area behind the truck. His approach relies on several layers of defense rather than one basic tent alone.
And see if there is any other supplies that I can pick up. Things people might have left around. Like I said, I am particularly looking for wood. Amazing the stuff that people just leave behind. A bit charred, but still very usable for us. I brought 2 bags of my own. I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be enough, and luckily some good Samaritans.
Before long, rain returns and the wind arrives in hard, uneven bursts. He keeps gathering firewood, even as the conditions make movement difficult and each task takes more effort. His camp is prepared before the worst weather reaches him, though the main storm is closing in quickly.
Dis mislik hier so buite. It's really gone monkey. It's mental. Hunter doesn't even want to play anymore. Where you, boy? You done? You finished?
As the gusts intensify, his gear takes the force. The ropes strain under the wind and visibility drops through the rain being driven sideways. When the strongest part of the storm finally arrives, the shelter holds because the early preparation was done properly. Even under that constant pressure, nothing gives way.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is actually really cold. Got a hoodie on underneath, I got a hoodie on top. I was freezing my ass off. Okay, let's get busy with that steak. We're not baking pancakes here, boys. Good layer of oil.
He applies the same careful logic to his sleeping arrangement. Instead of pitching an enclosed tent, he uses only a camping cot and a warm winter sleeping bag. He rests in the open, relying on dependable gear to protect him rather than sheltering behind full walls. There are no major surprises because he accounted for the small details ahead of time.
South Africans lose their lives due to flash floods that happen. All these farmers are in contact with each other all the way upriver due to rising river levels. A lot of the pathways and the walkways that are on this property have completely now washed.
He created a weather-ready camp before the storm arrived instead of waiting until things went wrong and trying to repair the setup under pressure in the dark alone with no time to think clearly. When you build protection before a storm reaches camp, you reduce the danger and keep control. Would you rather spend the extra time securing everything early or gamble with the wind later in the dark if your camp starts coming apart? On March 26, 2019, the Outdoor Channel Stuck in the Rut uploaded a tense video to YouTube. The footage follows hunter Ryan Altus as he tracks elk along a remote mountain trail. Suddenly, he sees a bull moose in rutting season moving straight toward him. Encounters like this can happen in areas where elk and moose share the same range. Still, that knowledge could not prepare Ryan for what unfolded next.
Well, as most elk hunters know, moose are very territorial, and any form of elk calling can cause an aggressive moose to come in.
The huge animal moves alarmingly close to Ryan, even pausing long enough to sniff his gear. The pressure is intense, and it seems as though one wrong movement could trigger disaster at any second. Cow moose protecting calves are often considered the most aggressive, but a rutting bull can be just as unstable and dangerous. One quick flinch might have caused an instant charge. Luckily, rather than running, Ryan stays completely motionless and records an incredible uncommon moment from only a few feet away. After several extremely tense minutes, the massive animal loses interest and walks away. If that bold bull had chosen aggression instead, it is difficult to imagine how badly the encounter could have ended. Remaining still can signal to wildlife that you are not a threat, which may be the only protection available when there is no place to escape. If a giant animal came right up to you, could you stay frozen, or would fear make you run instead? This footage comes from Hoodoo, an American channel that relies on satellite imagery to locate and investigate remote deserts and abandoned mines. On February 16th, 2025, the creator heads into the Utah desert near the old mining region of Eureka. His objective is to reach a particular location he found online, but has never visited in person. He leaves the comfort of paved roads and moves into rough open country, passing rock piles, sharp dirt slopes, and scattered waste from former industrial sites. He soon understands how massive the area actually is.
All right, so we found something else here. First thing I saw was this big silo looking thing up there. But yeah, we got this as well. I wouldn't have expected there to be active mines up here. I was looking over here and I see two headstones. They almost look like they're made out of styrofoam. And it's a retaining wall for some dirt. And it also looks like there could be another mine right up there. That almost looks like another mine tailing.
The terrain stretches far beyond the place he planned to reach, filled with branching tracks, steep drop-offs, and no obvious boundaries to help him navigate. That makes the situation more risky because getting turned around out there could make the return difficult. Before long, he runs into a dead end.
Looking on Google Earth, and it almost looks like the road to get down this way is super steep, so that could get dangerous fast. So I might flip this around right here and head back and then see if we can cut across the other way, see if we can find another road in. Okay, so I drove all the way down and I found this road, which looks like on my maps that it might lead up to the spot that we're trying to get to, which is somewhere up there. I don't think that we're able to go up that road at all, so I'm going to flip it around. That looks like it's not going to work out. I'm going to go over to a different area where I know I can camp, and there's some really good camping out there. It's kind of a little bit of a bust that we're not able to stay at that campsite or check out that spot that I was originally planning on going to, especially if I was on my motorcycle.
The route ahead is fully blocked by deep snow and jagged rocks. He tests several alternate paths, but each one leads nowhere, forcing him to abandon the attempt and go back. He turns the vehicle around.
But it's like this little circle of rocks, obviously, and it has some rocks that lead into the middle of it. And let's go check it out. It seems like the map leads over to that mountain over there. I'm assuming it's at the top. Doesn't look as steep on the phone, but... So it's looking like it might be a mine tailing, but it doesn't make any sense because there's like a big circle of rock spot around it. Yeah, that down there just looks like a mound of dirt. So this road keeps going up. This is all I'm seeing right now. So I can't figure out what it is. It looks like maybe a mine shaft. Oh, I actually didn't realize that this is where this was, but this is what's known as the Nutty Putty Caves. This young kid ended up passing away down in...
For that moment, the planned discovery has turned into a retreat from unfamiliar terrain around him. Not long afterward, the true background of the location becomes apparent. The area is tied to the well-known Nutty Putty Cave. He is not facing an immediate emergency, but he is moving over ground connected to a real fatal tragedy. The entire outing carries uncertainty, and the enormous, confusing landscape makes every decision feel heavier. The strongest moment is not finding the spot he came for, but realizing exactly what place he has entered. Traveling off the map is always a risk, because the land can carry hidden stories that catch you before you understand where you are. If you accidentally reached a place remembered for a tragic event, would curiosity make you keep exploring, or would you turn the truck around and leave immediately? Our next frightening clip comes from Pitched Up, a British wild camping channel, where friends film overnight trips in remote places. Their videos center on weather group reactions and how the outdoors can shape a night. This takes place on October 21st, 2024, at Crow Earth in the United Kingdom.
It was a last minute idea. Second camera Rob's destroyed the fire.
I'm pretty sure I can see a flame, bro.
Hmm?
I said I'm pretty sure I can see a flame.
They get there late as the sun is dropping with almost no daylight left and no time to spare. Setting up camp becomes a desperate rush. They pitch tents, quickly unload bags, and hurry to start a fire.
Oh, mate. Oh, that was very close. What are you doing?
Stood up too quick. Oh! Jabbed up the arse by your chair, bro. Oh, that really hurt.
Wind is moving through the area, not strong enough to be a storm, but loud enough to mask noises and make the site feel tense immediately. Then a strange sound cuts through the quiet beside camp. Nobody knows what caused it, so the group falls silent and looks into the dark trees. They never locate the source, but having something unseen interrupt them. In darkness is enough to shake everyone.
That's what the fire was. Eh?
I'll sort you out in a minute, sir. Right. What we got down on here?
Don't step backwards, Smash. My cup's down there.
Oh, I think I've done my bit, mate.
So we've had a couple of hot dogs. That's all we've had, isn't it?
Yeah, and some fruit.
Eh?
And some sweeties.
And some sweets. A cup of tea with some brandy in it. A couple of brandies with no tea in it.
Later, another odd noise near the fire makes them jump. Once more, nothing appears. But after hearing it twice, it starts feeling less like chance. After that, the wind grows stronger, rushing through the trees.
We're going to try and get some footage of the moon because there's meant to be a big super moon tonight for the last night. And we've got a tripod, so we're going to try and get that on if Rob's still with us. It's up there through the trees, but we're going to go into the field.
The constant roar makes it difficult to separate real movement from weather, feeding a sense of paranoia. Nothing comes at them, but the pressure keeps building, the rushed camp, the repeated sounds, and the wind surrounding everything. They never learn what was nearby, yet the uneasy buildup spoils the whole night. When nerves are high and the forest becomes loud, darkness can hide anything moving around camp. If you heard repeated sounds you could not see, would you try sleeping in the tent or pack up and leave right away?